Okay. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Olivier. I come from Holland. I'm lead developer for Meridia, which is trying to tackle a big problem. In the developing world, there is very little documentation about the land. And this is a root cause of many of the problems that those countries or people living there are facing. There is poverty, food insecurity, climate change, and we think that this is a root cause of a lot of those problems. And land documentation is a way for prosperity. We think, and there is a lot of research that have been done in this domain, but with land documentation and land rights, you can help those people to, by themselves, get out of poverty. So what we aim at doing is really to provide a full service to be able to document land and therefore bring the price down for this service, because you can already do this kind of services in developing countries, in Ghana, in Indonesia, but the price tag is very high because you need surveyors to come, you need paralegal information to be taken care. You need the legal authority to sign the document and review the document. So it's quite expensive. So what we aim at doing is really providing the full service, like data collection, data collection, data cleaning, and generating all the documents that we provide to our customers. So yeah, as I said, that's what we're doing. I think there is in order to bring the price down, there is very important component. First, you need to be able to work with rather like not surveyor level staff, because those are very expensive. There is very few of them. So if you want to scale at a cheaper price, it's not going to work. So we provide a solution where we rather have our agent being from the communities, and we train them. We train them to use our app, and we provide the app in a way that it's quite easy for them to handle all the data collection. We also provide them equipment to do all the surveying. So they are equipped with a tablet, they are equipped with Emlid, as we see here, and then all the data is digitalized and channeled through a data portal where everything is clean, everything is generated, and finally all the data can be monitored and the document could be issued. So currently we have operation in 3 countries. So in Ghana, we have started as a B2C model. So where the people themselves are paying for the document. And this was a very good benchmark for us because we had to bring the price down so they could afford it. And approximately in Ghana, the smallest price, it depends on the size of the parcel, obviously, but is 100 euros. It's still a lot of money for them, but it's affordable. They can pay it over 2 months or 3 months of harvest. So we started in Ghana with a B2C model, and we also have worked for companies. In Indonesia, it's more a model where we work with the government to survey land. So a more B2G approach. And in Malawi, this is more linked to all the problematic of traceability that we have in developed countries, where a big chain of retailer wants to know where the coffee is from, right? And want to have an impact directly on the producer. And so with them, we help to map the producer land And so we can basically relate the product you are buying with the land it's coming from. So it's 3 different models, kind of. And here we have kind of the result, what we actually did in Ghana. We mapped more than around 8,000 hectares. We have around 10,000 people impacted. And this has been where we have developed our first working product. In this context, to come back to the topic of today of using Emlid, we didn't start with Emlid. We started with a very basic Navilog, so the small Bluetooth GPS, because they provide an accuracy good enough for the requirement of the country. But for different kind of product, we realized that this was not cutting it. So that's where we try to integrate better accuracy devices. And Emlid, because of the cheap price and the capacity also to post-process, to work offline, fitted our need. So that's why we started to integrate the Emlid in Ghana slowly. And now we have a kind of a running solution to have a fully offline data collection of observations with Emlid. In Indonesia, we were working with the government, so it was a very different business. We had basically to survey a whole community at once. So the scale was different. It was straight away training a group of local community agent, to, with the Emlids, go and survey all the parcels of the community. So the pilot was successful. It was aiming at proving that a community-based data collection and surveying was able to function in Indonesia at a cheap cost. Because they have a huge country and they didn't yet succeed to survey a big part of it. So this, as a result, this approach has been accepted as one legal way of surveying land in Indonesia. So it's quite some success. Hopefully next year we'll continue helping the government working in this direction. So, I mean, there is a lot of things that is exciting about the Emlid. One of us is, yeah, I think the most important for us is that the device is simple and it just do what it says it's doing. And that's the most important for us, because we are not about flying drones. We are just, what is important for us is to have accuracy positioning or surveying in the shortest time possible, right? Because when you have a full village of, I don't know, 3,000 parcels to survey, and you want to, you maybe have 10 points per parcel, right? You have to be fast. And also, you are training local community to use your Emlids or your surveying materials. They don't want to wait, right? They just they want to do as much as possible, because it depends on your business model, but they might be paid according of the number of parcels they are doing per day. So for them, it's important that the software is reliable and that they don't need to spend too much time at each point. In Indonesia specifically, we only worked with RTK because it provides real-time feedback. If working with post-processing, the issue is you never know when you get the fix, so we have to stay very long. And the field team just get bored. And so maybe they move, maybe it's much more difficult to have good quality data if you are not using RTK. And Indonesia was nice because there was net internet access. So you could have a direct connection with only one base in the village. The issue is when we work in Ghana, it's much more complicated to achieve that because we work in areas where there is just no internet. The farmers may not even have a mobile phone. They need to go on the hill at the corner there to get internet access or just give a call. So this was nice in Indonesia. We could test this RTK solution, which was quite successful. We got good results as long as there was no canopy. So yeah, I think that's mostly yeah. One also thing is that we are facing as a surveyor in those areas is that we really need to be offline because we cannot rely on the internet. But at the same time, we need all the data that have been before surveyed because then we can save a lot of time afterwards when we clean the data before providing them to the government or the different business or customer. We need to clean the data to adjust because they have a requirement that, you know, more than a very accurate point, what they need is a very neat carpet of parcels. Yeah, so we are facing also other kind of challenges, not linked to Emlid, but quite interesting from a software perspective, but that's not the topic. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, what we prefer, we really like the Emlid. First is the unbeatable price. And it's very strong. It was also impressing our partner in Indonesia. They were like, it was raining like torrents sometimes. And yeah, the Emlid was just outside and under the water. You could have put it in the water, that would have been the same. So no, that was really great. And we also quite like the community support that when we have problems, when we have bugs, we quite like the way Emlid is responding to our messages. It feels very connected. But there is kind of some limitation. From our point of view, it's quite long to get a fix when you use a base and a rover. And as I said, for us working with community, using the devices and the tablet, every second counts. You are annoyed when you wait 10 seconds behind your browser that the page is loading. Like imagine like, yeah, a community in Indonesia, a community agent in Indonesia waiting for 5 seconds is already like way too long. But anyway, maybe we're gonna gamify it by adding some games so they can play in between every node. But that's R&D, I guess. So yeah, and also what at the moment we try to compare the precision we have, the accuracy we have using different devices. And especially our big problem is under canopy. Because with Clear Sky View, it's really working well and quite fast if you have RTK. But under canopy or mixed canopy, it's really difficult to ensure we have a constant quality. And that's kind of a problem for us because either in Ghana or in Indonesia, I mean, you've seen, you have mixed canopy. If you have cocoa trees, you have mixed canopy. And this is a clear issue. We are also trying other devices, but it seems that there is no silver bullet. Even with dual frequency, if you have a wrong, if you have bouncing signal, they can also be fooled and provide you a wrong fix. So we are looking at that. And also what issue we have is the radio range, because in a lot of places, as I said, we don't have internet, so we cannot really broadcast this correction over the internet. But the radio range, when you have a few hills, is making the distance you can operate your base and your very short. So it means that you need to move your base very frequently. And we don't have the, if we do that, it means we need to have known pillars, and it takes a lot of time to add additional pillars to bring your base close to your terrain of operation. So that's also kind of a operation issue we have. Yeah, so that's more back to more what Meridia is doing and providing as a service. This is a different aspect we provide. Once the data is collected, we do data cleaning, PDF generator. We integrate with mobile devices, with mobile money. So we really provide the full services for data collection at a cheap price. Okay. Yeah. It was supposed to be a demo. I have a tablet, but not set up. So I'm just going to describe what we see here, right? Because I'm not going to give a demo for everybody. What's the time? Coming to the end. Okay. So quickly. So this is the tablet we are providing to the field agent, or the community member, and you see here that we have really designed the screen. We tried to design as best as possible for the screen to be simple, because they are used by para-surveyors, and also they are used outside under the rain or under the tropical sun. And it's quite, we try to make like big buttons and make it as simple as possible. But basically what you see here is the map that is loaded on the device. When you see on top, when you start some kind of RTK or observation, you can see the status of the log that is happening. And you will be informed if there is a RTK in this top bar. Once you finish your point, the little number that is red will turn green, because you finished to take this point, and the log file, the observation, will be downloaded from the Emlid to the tablet. And here, more generally, you see basically some status information, that you are connected to a reach, that you see the something that is really missing on the reach is a battery indicator. So we are displaying on the tablet so that we know when we reach a low level of battery. And yeah, the different status. And so as soon as you take another point, you will see the polygon drawn. What you don't see here is that we also load the other parcel the other team members have done. So you could actually snap to speed up the process. Instead of taking a point, you can just snap to a neighboring parcel. So then you reduce the time to take high accuracy point. And this is an agent working in the field. So that's it. And this is a testimony from one of our customers. And yeah, I think what is clear is, for them, getting documentation is really a way to secure their future and secure their right. And yeah, they are very proud of that. So that's a great mission. Okay, finished. If you have questions, yes.
What's your occupation time in each point for post-processing?
It depends. If we have a RTK connection or correction, then we go for 10, 15 seconds. But if we don't, then it's rather 1 minute, 2 minutes, could be also 5 minutes. But it depends every time. Yeah, it depends of the distance, but it depends also of the legislation of each country. Some will require that we provide observation for a certain duration because they want to post-process. So they want the parcel geometry, but also all the logs. Yeah, and at least in Ghana, because they don't accept the RTK as it is. Sorry?
You measure several areas. How many areas in the total? No, the number of the parcels. Yes.
It depends in which country. In Ghana, it's about 6,000. In Indonesia, it's 3,000.
How long time for 6,000?
So for Indonesia, we did 3,000 parcel in, was it 4 weeks? And in Ghana, it's around 6,000. And I think most of them were done during the first year.
So 1,000 per week.
Yeah, like in Indonesia, it's the most recent project. So we had all our data flow cleaning process set up. So it was much faster. And so all our pipeline is very fast. So yeah, but we can even go faster because in Indonesia we also still had technical problems, and we also had some issue with the training and finding the right way to explain and train the local community to use surveying material is quite tricky, and we think we can go even faster.
Just 2 receivers?
Sorry?
Just a base and a rover or more?
So no, we provide 1 rover per surveyor, and there is only 1 base in the village. So
how many surveyors?
I think there were 5 in the same time.